For today's headlines, let's go over to the CBN News desk.
Gordon, with the Iowa caucuses just 6 days away, Republican presidential candidates are going on the attack against each other. And they're crisscrossing that state today. As Mark Martin reports, many Iowans are still undecided amid a flood of television and radio ads.
The January 3rd Iowa caucuses provide the first chance for Americans to actually vote for a Republican presidential candidate. With the caucuses less than a week away, the candidates are hammering away at each other with their so-called super PACs, financing some of the attacks on the airwaves. On his bus tour across Iowa, Newt Gingrich is trying to regain momentum and fend off the negative ads by the Mitt Romney campaign and outside groups.
All I'd say, Mitt, is if you want to run a negative campaign and you want to attack people, at least be man enough to own it. That's your staff and that's your organization. Those are your millionaire friends paying for it.
Gingrich is referencing ads being run by a pro-Romney super PAC. Super PACs are independent political action committees that can raise an unlimited amount of money from donors. They have to be careful, though, because if they coordinate with a candidate's campaign, they break the law. Romney is also going on the attack personally, focusing attention on the former House Speaker for failing to get enough signatures to get on the ballot in Virginia.
I think he compared that to was it to Pearl Harbor? I think it's more like Lucille Ball at the chocolate factory.
While Romney tries to pull off an upset in Iowa, Gingrich also has Ron Paul to fend off. Gingrich even declared he won't vote for Paul, even if Paul's the GOP nominee.
I think the choice of Ron Paul or Barack Obama would be a very bad choice for America.
Meanwhile, Texas Governor Rick Perry and his supporters have actually spent the most money on ads in Iowa, more than the other candidates combined. However, he's still behind in the polls. Former Senator Rick Santorum has campaigned in Iowa the old-fashioned way, by visiting all 99 counties and holding hundreds of town hall meetings. And Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann scheduled 11 stops today alone to build momentum and media attention.
The candidates and allied groups have spent more than $12 million on commercials to air through Caucus Day in Iowa next Tuesday. The Obama administration will ask Congress to raise the nation's borrowing limit by $1.2 trillion. That's the third and final increase in the debt ceiling deal that was negotiated during the summer. The latest increase will take the debt ceiling up to $16.4 trillion. Officials say that should keep the government operating for another year. Iran is threatening to cut the world's oil supply if the West imposes more sanctions. Those sanctions are in response to Iran's growing nuclear program. Iran says it will use its military to shut down the Strait of Hormuz. The Persian nation is conducting a 10-day military exercise in that area. About 40% of the world's oil passes through that strait. A 2,000-year-old copy of the Ten Commandments is on display in New York. It's part of the 10-day Discovery Times Square exposition. The parchment is on loan from Israel. It's one of the Dead Sea Scrolls discovered in a cave in Qumran in 1952. The curator says this rare treasure is in amazingly good condition.
There really only are two ancient copies of this famous text of the Ten Commandments that everybody knows from the Hebrew Bible. And this is the only copy on parchment that we've discovered, and it's the oldest copy on parchment, especially among the Dead Sea Scrolls. So it's really kind of an exceptional text, both because of its contents, its age, and the fact that it's in amazingly good condition.
The scroll is thought to have been used as a prayer leaflet. It's on display with about 900 other scrolls discovered in the Dead Sea caves. It will be on display until January 2nd. Nebraska Democrat Ben Nelson is stepping down after 2 terms in the Senate. It's a move that opens the door for Republicans to pick up another Senate seat. Nelson is the only Democrat in Nebraska's 5-member congressional delegation. Right now, no other Democrat is in line to take his place in that conservative state. Republicans need to gain just 4 seats to reclaim control of the U.S. Senate. High winds and rain hit the East Coast Tuesday, the storm washing out a section of a highway in South Carolina. Some 4,000 power outages have been reported in the Charleston area. In North Charleston, windy weather knocked down this Best Buy sign in front of a store there. Officials say the store was filled with customers returning gifts after the Christmas holiday when that sign came down.
had like some really high winds going through, and they could hear it running across the ceiling when they heard the front end of the building make a pretty loud noise, and then it came down. No one was hurt. We were very, very happy with that, and we've got it taped off to keep everyone safe.
Forecasters say a strong low-pressure system was responsible for the high winds. You can always get the latest from CBN News by going to our website at cbnnews.com.